Hello and welcome to the Idiot Book Nook Book Club podcast. My name is Blazewing, my pronouns are she, her, and they, them.
I am the Reading Dragon, and my pronouns are she, her.
I'm Lady Punnet. My pronouns are primarily she, her, sometimes they, them. Today is a she, they kind of day, and I thought Critter went after Blue.
No.
We've only been doing this for almost a year, and I forget the order. Critter, you're up.
And I'm Critter Shy. And I'm just here. Let's go.
And I'm keeping this in. We're not going to redo that. Yep. I love it.
When do we ever do a retake?
Never.
Right?
We've never had a need to do a retake.
Take.
We're doing Prospero School of Magic, Chapter 8 today, and for those of you that are listening to this, there was no episode last week because our recording day that we were supposed to be doing it originally, we had brain malfunction, as happens with ADHD, so we took it as a chill stream. I'm sorry I didn't get an announcement out in time. It's finals week this week. My apologies, but we are back, and we also have an announcement that starting January, we are going to be moving our streaming slot from morning to evening on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. You'll be able to find us live on Twitch if you come and join us there. With that being said, narrator, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's start with our trigger warning.
Prospero School of Magic, The Return of Merlin. Trigger warning. This book contains situations and scenes that may cause people to become triggered. These include, but are not limited to, sexual assault, rape, drugs, drinking, blood, gore, murder, and abuse. Listener and viewer discretion is advised. Chapter 8. Darkness coated the sky above them, and the ground started to shake more. The roll of thunder could be heard. Students scattered in the attempt to get out of the downpour that was drenching the school. Agate could feel the evil that was coating the school and everything around it that touched it. Trees started to uproot and fall over, making students and staff scream as they ran for cover into the nearest buildings they could hide away in.
This is Agate. I believe that was Dragon.
Yep. Agate was the big burly buff dude, right?
Yes.
I do not mean to rush, but you guys need to hurry up. We have trouble.
Sebastian tried to steady himself as he ran over to the door in time to watch hail beat down on the school grounds.
Blaze with Sebastian.
Bloody hell. Is that Eris's doing? Eris's doing? This is Eris's doing, is it not?
Yes. Oh, wait.
It's Agate. Yeah, it is Agate.
Yeah. Yes. I would say he is angry that they cannot pass the wards that I have placed. So he is using his powers over the elements to cause all these disasters that we are seeing happen. He wants to push Merlin out of hiding. He will not stop for anything to make it happen. His hate for Merlin runs deep. This school will crumble to get what he wants, and knowing Merlin, he will not sit back and let it happen. Everyone is about to learn just how deadly he is.
See, in our copy, it says everyone is about to learn just who Daniel really is.
Oh,
Same.
sorry. Sorry about that. I misread that.
You're good.
Sorry. Everyone is about to learn just who Daniel really is.
Agate looked back at Sebastian and saw Harmony standing behind them with Chester with a confused and concerned look on her face. His heart dropped as he looked at her expression.
I'm assuming that was me? I can't remember my roles. I really need to start writing
who's
this shit down.
Daniel's mama?
That would be Dragon.
No, I was. I was. Yeah, Harmony's mom.
You were regular mama.
Mm-hmm.
Blaze was Daniel's dad. One of these days, we're gonna write down roles, guys. I promise.
We're gonna be doing that starting next book. I'm gonna be implementing that. It's gonna be a must-have. We're gonna have somebody to track that.
Yeah. I mean, we did it for the last book we did. It's just we fucked up and.
Was it
good.
Critter? Critter, were you the mom?
I mean, I can be.
Cool.
Okay. Critter's now Harmony.
Yeah, because isn't Harmony Daniel's mom?
Yes.
Wait. I think Critter's Mike should be the mom because of the googly eyes.
Well, wait, we haven't done a voice check for the mic, so
Fair.
we will try next book to see how the voice goes
Fair.
for Critter's mic. But for now,
For now.
Critter, you can take the place of your mic and do the lines.
I'm trying to stop laughing. Hold on.
Just give us 1 sec. I broke Critter.
Think of the watermelons.
Think of Jack Black in a Speedo.
What's wrong with y'all? Thanks. Now I have fucking Tenacious D songs in my head.
You're welcome.
Tenacious D is going to tour, I think.
A.T. Whitfield,
Right.
welcome on in.
Hi. All right.
I wonder if AP knows who voiced Harmony last time.
Oh well, we're going with it. What does this have to do with? What does? Oh, what does my son have to do with this?
Harmony demanded.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but we need to get you back to Daniel and let him explain it to you. I am not at liberty to tell you.
Agate replied.
If you have all that you need, then I can get us back to his room. Just trust me.
Harmony furrowed her brows and looked over his shoulder at the mess outside, then back into his eyes.
Fine. Take me to my son.
Agate nodded his head and gently pulled her small frame to him.
As for you two, just touch my shoulders, and I can get us all back.
Harmony looked up into his dark eyes.
One moment, folks.
I don't know if you're all thinking the same thing I'm thinking.
Yes.
Damn it!
That's why I'm having a hard time keeping a straight face.
Well done with this part of the story, AP. Just like, this is golden material. I love it. Also, I need to turn my mic down. Why is my mic all the way up?
I mean, let's face it. Compared to her husband, Agate would be a step up.
Agate would be such a step up.
Mm-hmm. Just saying.
So about looking into my dark eyes.
God damn it, we were almost calmed down.
Love you guys.
Clipped.
You got it clipped?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay, everyone take
Okay.
a deep breath in.
We got this. We can do it.
Out. Okay. Are we all
And
good?
once we're done, just look into my dark eyes.
Stop it, Blue Dragon! I will put you on timeout.
The only way I can read this now is, what are you?
Do it. Do it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Do it. Do it. Dragon does make that tall, dark, and handsome work. Oh.
Okay.
We got this.
We have this. We're only
I
on the
believe in
second page, guys.
What are you?
An immortal.
I let me say my line, jeez. She
Mm.
asked curiously.
An
Curiously.
Curiously. My, aren't we curious? Love you, lady funny.
Agate, you're up.
Agate, you're up. Say your line so we can continue.
Okay. An immortal.
He replied as he looked down at the woman. It made all four of them vanish back into Daniel's room, where he let go of her to allow Daniel to get to her.
Danny, what's going on? You're Merlin?
Harmony quickly says to him and looked at him with worry and disbelief. Daniel looked over at Agate in shock and slight anger.
You told her?
You told my mom?
No. She overheard Sebastian and I talking about it, and what is going on outside. You know that this is Eris's doing, and it is clear you are getting ready to go face him by now, by how you are dressed.
Agate motion to the change in clothes that Daniel was in. He had on a black button-down under what seemed to be a royal blue jacket trimmed in gold with Arthur's crest on it. The sleeves hung loosely, and on his hip sat his sword that was almost hidden by his cloak.
Mom?
Danny?
Harmony's voice shook as tears stung her eyes.
You can't go out there.
She clung to his cloak and part of his jacket.
I can't lose my son.
She sobs and hides her face in his chest as she sobs. Daniel felt his chest tighten as he wrapped his arms around her. He closed his eyes to steady himself, to try and find the right words.
Mother, I must. This will not end until I can get them sealed away again. I will not be alone. There are others that will be helping me. I am not alone. Now, please stay here with Clara, Jana, Sally, Lilith, and Wesley and Chester. They will help keep you safe. The rest of us are going to go face those demons.
While they had gone, Wesley had found his way back to them when he first saw sight of something not right in the woods near the school where he and another student was fencing. He shook his leaves
He took his leave.
He took his leaves to quickly run back and find Daniel to alert him that trouble was coming.
Leaves.
Shush. And he was right. The building they were in shook, knocking his books to the ground. Lilith started to sob and crawled into Chester's arms, clinging to him for protection. Daniel waved his hand, replacing everything back where it goes, and muttered a protection spell over the building and his room to keep them all safe.
Partut, bro?
Partoots, bro?
Partut, bro. Rolled easily off his tongue. I'm sorry, that did not seem to roll easily off of any of our...
Party, bro!
Party, bro. Party, bro.
Party, bro!
Party, bro!
Anyways.
Rolled easily off his tongue, and quickly the building stood firm as everything around it started to crumble or get beat down by the elements of nature outside the doors of Socrates.
I will be back.
He looked over at Clara, who held tears in her eyes, who held fear in her eyes over him going again.
You said that before.
Clara chokes out a sob, and he quickly pulled her into his arms and kissed her deeply and wipes her tears away.
I will be back this time. I promise. I'm not letting them cost me you again.
Jinxed it. Daniel looked down at her and kissed her again.
Knock on wood!
I don't have any wood. I don't have any wood close by to knock.
I do! I will knock on it all for all of us.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, you're knocking. It's your line.
I have to go. I've wasted too much time while he is laying waste to this school and the towns nearby.
Kissing her forehead gently and moved away from her and let Wesley take his place. It pained him to see her in the arms of another. He closed his eyes, and with a flick of his wrist, Sebastian, Agathe, and Rome found themselves at the front lines of what was going on with Argon, Citrine, and Carnelian, who was already waiting. Okay, I'm sorry. Who's Rome?
Who's Rome?
Who's Rome?
I think that's supposed to say Romeo.
Oh,
Probably.
It'll be
Are
in my
you Arthur?
it'll be in my queries to the author. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'm yes. It's this new character. His name's Rome. We've never met him before. We don't know what he looks like, and he's just there for shits and giggles.
He also founded an entire empire which ruled a good chunk of the world for quite some time.
Before it fell.
For shits and giggles.
He's also a very handsome, chunky tuxedo cat who wants to hang out on my porch every so often.
He's also an adorable little Chibli who hangs out with Chibitalia, and they live in Mr. Hungary's Mr. and Mrs. Hungary. I am Italia trash.
Suddenly, Italy walks into the room. Pasta! Just brings all the pasta for everybody because Italy just wants to have friends.
Uh-huh.
Italy is a sweet
And he's
thing!
in love with Germany.
I mean,
I'll stop you.
Argon's turn.
Wait.
I think...
Oh wait, I'm Argon.
No,
You're Argon.
Where am I? Oh, there I am.
Steve.
I found myself.
Welcome to today's podcast episode, brought to you by what, and I cannot stress this enough, the actual fuck.
Hello.
Wait, we're sponsored?
Deprivation.
I would love for us to be sponsored.
I don't think anybody's crazy enough to do that just yet.
I mean, I tried to get McDonald's to sponsor my my other stream because my friends noticed I would always have like McDonald's because it was my cheat day and my cheat food was McDonald's. But McDonald's never wanted to sponsor D&D.
I'll show you.
The hell's wrong with you, McDonald's?
Yeah,
Yeah.
McDonald's. What the fuck?
You're missing out. You're missing out. Get Ronald McDonald be made into a D&D character.
I'll have to go to Japan and get what Donald's to sponsor instead. Anyways, Argon, your line starts with seams as
Yes.
soon as you can collect yourself and not laugh.
Oh, I'm just waiting for you guys. We're just waiting for an entry. All right. Seems our unwanted guest has discovered your whereabouts, Merlin.
Argon ducked out of the way of falling limbs and worked to get back control of the while Agate worked to control the storms that were raging on. I hope it means tree limbs,
Maybe. I see that.
Daniel replied dryly.
Ooh. So, who wants to take on this new voice? Or do you want me to take on this new voice?
Well, do you want to be Daniel and his arch nemesis?
Yeah, that's a bit weird. You'd be like talking to yourself.
Yeah,
So-
that's why I'm asking who wants to take this on.
Blaze?
I'm gonna be a minute.
Okay,
Hello.
I can do it if we want.
Sure.
I gotta see how deep and dark I can make my voice, though.
Hi.
One
You've
second,
been
I gotta get
voluntold.
in a proper position for this. Okay. Okay, sure. Well. Look who finally decided to grace us with his presence. A dark voice said from the words as it grew near. If it's not Merlin, the one who sealed us away, you honestly think you can beat us again? Without warning, an icy blast came out of nowhere, knocking him off his feet and knocking the breath out of him.
I think Romeo
Is he-
was...
Because he had the dude bro voice.
Yeah, the dude bro voice.
Merlin!
Romeo yelled out and ran over to him and was cut off by a wall of fire, forcing Daniel to be separated from the others.
Damn it!
He looked wide-eyed at the figures that came out of the tree lining. Citrine held out her hand to pull the water from the soaking ground to put out the fire.
I got this. As soon as it is out, get in there and help him.
You
'Cause I
you
was
were
Citrine.
Argon. You were Argon. She was Citrine.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember what the other girl's name is, and it's gone like completely.
Carnelian.
That's it. Okay, thanks.
Are you sneezing, baby? It's okay. You sneeze.
I got this. As soon as
I was Citrine. Remember? Sorry. Or do you want to take Citrine this time?
Go for it.
No, you go take Citrine this time.
Go for it.
Okay. I got this. As soon as it is out, get in there and help him.
Daniel sat up and glared at the four of them. They all had white hair and were fair.
I think this is supposed to be complexed.
Complexion.
Complexion with black
basically
eyes.
had a fair complexion.
Okay. Daniel sat up and glared at the four of them. They all had white hair and were fair complexions with dark eyes.
Blaze, take Karis.
Kiri's giggled and bit her lip as she gave him a small wave.
Miss us, Merlin?
Her voice was flirtatious as her eyes lingered over.
You are still rather sexy. Do you look just as good without your clothes on? I'm interested in another taste of you. I feel dirty.
Oh,
I feel dirty. I feel so dirty.
I feel violated.
All I can think is I'm reading that line is I feel dirty, man. Dirty!
I feel verbally violated.
Daniel looked at her with eyes full of hate as he got to his feet.
I would say, go to hell, but not even Hades himself would want filth like you all.
Oh, neat. So they go by the Greek mythology. Daniel looked at her. Oh, wait, no, I already read that line.
I have Eresis.
Eresis growls lowly.
I see you're still as cocky as ever. Did you not learn your lesson the last time? I'm sure since Arthur is back, it must mean Morgana's back. Shall we have a repeat of what happened before Shall we have a repeat of what happened before that I was sadly forced to miss because of all you? I have so many issues with that sentence.
Yeah.
Daniel, you're up.
Don't you dare touch her!
Daniel held his hand, and a ring of purple alchemy came out and blasted out, sending Eresis flying back through the trees. He linked his mind to Sebastian.
Do not say the spell out loud, but in your mind, so they don't know what you're doing. Sion offredatur quod perit malimunis. Chant it in your mind. Soon the crystals will start to glow and will pull your targets in. Focus on the four you wish to seal away and chant the spell, as will I.
See, that would not work for us because you ask us to repeat Latin in our minds and we've only heard it one time and we can't even read it. And it's like, I'd forget it after the halfway through the second.
Unless we were already learned in Latin, which I wish I was.
Sebastian swallowed.
Sorry.
Sebastian swallowed hard and did what he was asked. Carnelian watched him and her heart felt tight. he looked just like Donatello, but she knew it was not him.
Oof.
Oh.
Oof.
I'll cover you.
She whispered and blocked an icy blast that came from Delmere.
Critter should take this one.
Mm-hmm.
Donatello? I did not think we would see him again. Another pain in our sides.
Delmere growls as he glared at Sebastian. Sebastian looked up and locked eyes with the male, never once breaking the chanting in his mind. The crystal started to feel hot in his hands as they worked to charge up with the energy needed to seal them away. That blast only pissed off Ares more. He let out an angry yell that leveled out the trees around him. Getting to his feet, he flew in rage back to where Daniel stood and grabbed him, slammed him into the wards that sent a wave of shock through the old wizard's body.
You think you can beat me, boy? You are nothing. Nothing! I will rip you apart again and again. You are nothing but a filthy peasant that not even his parents wanted. Why would anyone else want you? The village turned their backs on you, and so did your parents. They all tried to have you killed. That's why, when you were a young teenager, you found your parents and you killed them. And you leveled out that village.
Ares smirked and laughed darkly. Romeo froze in shock as he listened to the story.
That's not true. You're lying.
Oh, you foolish king. It is.
Ares squeezed Daniel's neck more, while keeping his eyes locked onto Daniel while he let all of his secrets spill.
Just like he murdered your father. Poisoned him.
Ooh.
Daniel's eyes went wide and they darted down to Romeo, who stumbled back, looking at Daniel in betrayal and disbelief. Oh yes, believe the villain over your best friend of centuries.
So sometimes there is that trope where, yeah, you have the best friend. Yeah, the best friend has done all of this like horrible shit that you don't know about in your best interests, and then the villain actually is right.
Well, yeah, but it's like,
But context matters, and he's only offering
information that might not even be true.
Yeah.
Villain.
Whoops. Did I say too much? What about the way you came to be as powerful as you are, and all those well worn out books that you have with spells in it, and potions that only you know how to read? All those languages that no one else can figure out. Shall I tell them all how you came about being able to do all of that?
Ares' voice was dark and menacing as he spoke. He threw Daniel aside into a tree, letting his head crack against it, and his vision started to blur while his body worked to heal. Argon gritted his teeth at everything he was hearing. He did not want to believe it, that the man they had turned to so much to save lives and to heal those that needed, that led armies and ended wars. How could he be this cold-hearted killer that Ares was painting him out to be? It could not be true. He watched Daniel get to his feet and lean on the tree he was thrown into. Waving his hand, he made a thorn whip rest in his hand, letting it crack and wrap around Ares before he could lay his hands on Daniel again, who was still struggling to see from his blurred vision. He yanked Ares to the ground and pulled him towards him.
Why? I thought this was. Oh no! Wait,
This is Argon.
Yeah,
That's Critter.
Oh.
Why in the hell should we believe a damn word that comes out of your mouth? You have done nothing but destroy kingdoms, rape women for your own pleasure, consume them, You lead your children into behaving the same way.
Why not ask him yourself?
Ares chuckled and let his body turn to flame to torch the whip that held him captive.
Go on, Merlin. Why not tell everyone the truth for once? Let them know you're not the man they had believed you to be.
He mocked. Daniel hung his head and closed his eyes as the feel of cold cuffs found their way on his wrists and made his powers sizzle out. This is serious. This is the weird, gross woman. Gross woman we don't like.
Carrie's was me?
Yeah, that was you. The one where we feel violated.
Yes, Merlin. Do tell. The stories are rather delicious.
Ceres licked his neck where blood was running down it, letting out a moan of pleasure escape her lips.
You still taste just as wonderful now as you did then.
She giggled. He shuddered and pulled away from her as his sight started to come back.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm cringing so hard on the inside right now.
Amethyst.
He whispered, and his ring and necklace glowed to life. Amethyst perked up from where he was laying on the bed back in Daniel's room and let out a low growl and roar. The others jumped at the anger that filled the small dragon. Clara.
Goddamn dragon.
Daniel must be in trouble.
Clara got up quickly to watch Amethyst crash through the window to take on his true form and grew in a massive size, his roars echoing to life through the stormy sky. Wesley covered Clara to protect her from flying glass that now covered the bedroom floor. She was trembling in his arms as she looked out, her eyes following the large purple dragon that flapped its wings and roared as it went to its master's aid. Taking its claws, it swooped down and grabbed up Carrie's, making her scream in surprise as Amethyst threw her and circled back to break the shackles off of Daniel.
Daniel.
I think not.
Daniel said in a hollow tone of voice and rubbed his wrist. He glanced over to look at Sebastian, who was still being protected by Carnelian, and the crystal started to give a glow.
And it seems your time is up.
Ares, he smirked. Ares looked back at Sebastian and his eyes grew large.
Fall back.
He growls.
We are not done here, Merlin. I will have my revenge. Just you wait.
He lifted Carrie's into his arms and vanished from sight. Delmir gritted his teeth and got one last blow in as he made an icy spear and threw it, watching it hit Sebastian, knocking him back. Who was Delmir?
Critter.
Oh, wait.
Let us go, Mortem.
He ordered as he vanished. The glowing lights started to flicker as Sebastian started to lose his spell. Daniel moved over to him quickly as Amethyst held Mortem down from leaving. Daniel continued with the spell while Carnelian pulled the spear out. She bit into her hand and pressed it to Sebastian's lips.
Drink. You need it. It will heal you.
She did not give him a choice to not drink the blood. Watching his wounds heal, she pulled back at the screaming, angry Mortem and watched him start to get pulled into the crystal Daniel was channeling into. Slowly, things died down. The grounds became silent. Mortem was gone and trapped inside the crystal. Looking at the smoky quartz in his hand, Daniel smirked at it.
One down. 3 more to go. At least, I hope so.
He looked back at the others while Amethyst went back to being small and resting on his shoulders. The others held look of questions and wanting answers of truth from the old wizard. He pierced his lips together but made no remark on any of it.
We should get back to the others and start cleaning up the school grounds. Merlin.
Romeo said, his voice in a low growl and sternness.
Did you kill my father?
Daniel kept his back to him. He said nothing.
As your king, I order you to answer me.
Romeo yelled at him from where he stood, clenching the blade in his hand. Daniel closed his eyes and let out a heavy sigh.
Yes.
And thus ends Chapter 8 of Prospero School of Magic.
I am.
Dun, dun, dun.
See, I remember at one point making mention with Merlin when he was doing the whole like revealing memories sort of thing, how he was leaving certain shit out from his side of things, that there might be some shit that like he didn't really want people to know.
We'll get into that in just a moment. I'm going to put us on a quick break so you guys can grab a drink refill, use the bathroom. 5-10 minutes, no more.
Okay.
We'll see you guys shortly.